When you see these 10 things, heaven sees you too, finding peace in unseen victories. The invisible reward. What if your biggest victories are the ones nobody ever sees? We live in a world obsessed with visibility, followers, recognition, applause. But the truth is, some of the most powerful transformations happen in silence. No audience, no announcement, just you, God, and the decision to keep going. Because in heaven's economy, what's unseen counts most. Heaven doesn't reward the loud, it rewards the faithful. Not the perfect, but the persistent. So today, I want to show you something most people never notice. 10 moments that may look small to the world, but in those moments, heaven stops and watches. If you're watching this, you're not here by accident. Take a deep breath. You're about to remember what heaven remembers about you. And before we begin, if this message resonates, subscribe, like this video, and comment below where you're watching from. It helps me know this is reaching the ones who needed to hear it most. Now, let's begin. 1. When you choose peace over proving yourself. The first sign heaven sees you is when you could fight back, but choose peace instead. In a world that mistakes silence for weakness, you hold your tongue, not because you're afraid, but because you've outgrown the need to be understood. Heaven sees that restraint. It's not cowardice, it's mastery. Every time you walk away instead of retaliating, you're not losing, you're winning the war for your peace. That's an unseen victory. The second sign, forgiveness. When you forgive someone who never apologized, heaven takes note. Because forgiveness isn't weakness, it's divine imitation. It's proof that what hurt you didn't harden you. The world says revenge restores power. Heaven says release is power. Every time you let go of the need to prove you were right, you rise above the very darkness that tried to define you. And heaven whispers, "That's my child." The third unseen victory, keeping your heart soft. Every day, life gives you reasons to shut down, to grow cold, to believe kindness doesn't pay. But you still choose empathy. You still show compassion. You still see good in people who've stopped seeing it in themselves. That softness isn't naivety, it's spiritual strength. Because it's easy to be hard. It's divine to stay gentle. Heaven sees that quiet resilience. The fourth moment heaven notices is when you finally stop explaining your boundaries. You say no, not from pride, but from wisdom. You choose rest over rushing, clarity over chaos. Every time you protect your peace instead of pleasing others, you tell heaven you've learned discernment, the maturity to choose alignment over attention. That no might disappoint people, but in heaven's records, it's a yes to purpose. The fifth unseen victory, kindness under pressure. When you're misunderstood and you choose grace. When you're provoked and you respond with patience. When you're surrounded by gossip and you stay quiet. Heaven doesn't just see your reaction, it sees your restraint. That's where character is built, in the furnace of almost losing your peace, but not letting them take it. Because restraint is louder in heaven than reaction is on earth. The sixth sign, perseverance in obscurity. When you keep showing up to your calling, even when no one validates it. When you pray and nothing seems to change. When you do the right thing and it feels like no one notices. Heaven does. Every seed of consistency becomes a root in eternity. Every time you keep faith in private, you're writing your legacy in invisible ink. And heaven reads every line. The seventh unseen victory, private healing. When you face your pain instead of projecting it. When you go to therapy, pray through the breakdown, journal the emotions no one else will ever read. When you stop blaming and start breaking cycles, you become a repairer of generations. Heaven sees that work, because healing yourself isn't just about you. It's about the thousands who will never have to suffer the same way because you did the work to stop it. That's legacy, quiet, eternal legacy. The eighth sign heaven sees you is when you stop rushing destiny. You used to compare your progress to others. Now you move at peace with your process. You no longer demand quick results. You trust divine timing. Heaven honors patience because it's the proof of faith. Every time you stop trying to catch up, you're already walking in grace. Heaven doesn't run, it waits, and so do the wise. The ninth unseen victory, gratitude. When you wake up and thank God for breath before complaining about burdens, when you thank Him for closed doors as much as open ones, gratitude shifts atmospheres. It tells heaven you've grown beyond entitlement, because the grateful are always rich, even when the world calls them poor. And the ungrateful, they stay empty, even when surrounded by abundance. Every time you whisper, "Thank you," the echo reaches heaven faster than any shout. The final unseen victory, faith that endures. When everything seems delayed, when prayers go unanswered, when silence becomes your only reply, and you still believe. That's the kind of faith heaven celebrates. Not loud faith, not performative faith, enduring faith. Because belief that survives disappointment is the rarest kind of beauty on earth. Every time you choose to trust again, heaven writes it down. You might not see the applause, but heaven stands. Heaven doesn't measure you by what people see. It measures you by what you kept doing when no one saw. Every quiet choice toward peace, every humble act of forgiveness, every prayer whispered through tears, they count. You are not behind, you are being refined. And when you see these signs, when peace replaces the urge to prove, when faith outlives frustration, when joy returns without reason, that's heaven's confirmation. You're seen, you're known, you're becoming who you were meant to be. Keep choosing the unseen victories, because one day the world will see what heaven always did. Stay grounded, stay gentle, stay faithful.